Good morning. I forgot what I was going to say. Uh, what I did out here, I think I mentioned it in the video I did yesterday on the 9th, was I split up a whole bookshelf pretty good. And down here, between here and here, there's no fuse. I don't know how I missed that. Everything else is fused, but nothing between here and here. So I need to put in a fuse. Not a big deal. I'm going to put in a 120 amp fuse, and that should work okay. The other thing I want to do kind of is take these beads off. They start rattling, and I don't need them anymore. Right now we're charging at 34 amps. It's cloudy outside, and using 11 amps on 110 and 2 amps on 12 volt. So that's pretty good. Somebody pointed out that these MT50s show the maximum voltage that these are capable of. I haven't found that yet. What I see is the voltage that is coming into the unit. We're going out. No, this is going in. No, that's not either. That's something else altogether. So I have 62 volts on number 1. That has 3, 4, 5, and 6 coming in right now on that one. And I don't know, I have to read up on how that works. But anyhow, you coming in, baby? Come on. I don't know how far I'm gonna get today with doing that. I need to pretty bad. I have to go over to a neighbor's and help him with his car. He's got a car problem, and I've got a trailer load of parts out there that need to go to the Arc Industries or Habitat for Humanity or something like that. Windows, all the windows that I took out of here. So, got seat covers. Sue got me seat covers for my truck, and boy does it need it. Anyhow, gonna get started. I need to be over there by 9, and it is 8:49. Bought another 30 acres while we were here last week, and that's out there. So we've expanded our property line quite a bit, all the way to the next road, way over there. About, it's got to be half mile. It's a long ways. Anyhow, back door. Okay, there's my fuse. It's a 125 amp fuse. It's going to go in that wire with any luck. So I need to move some stuff out of the way. The bike's going to be in the way. But I don't want to take it outside because it's snowing. So I am just going to pull the plug and turn the inverter off. Over here somewhere there is a button. And I'll pull the switch. Gonna cut this right here, take this line off, cut it right here, and I have the connectors sitting here somewhere. So I'm gonna get busy on that. Gonna have to figure out how to get it under these wires. Yeah, I have to get it under these wires and attach it back there. Here we go. Some fun. Good morning, everybody. I went and got the fuse all installed yesterday, and I was going to do something, but I got busy and it was late when I got back. It didn't work. So, what I'm going to have to do, get the lights turned on here. We're pulling 9 amps right now off of 110. This is where I put it, and I didn't get it mounted or anything, which is a good thing. but 125 amp fuse isn't big enough. Now, we're not really using 125 amps. That inverter is using 125 amps. I mean, I run the microwave and this thing burned that fuse, 125 amp fuse. There's no way a microwave is going to use 125 amps. It might use 10, not very much. So what I need to do, and we'll probably do it this summer, is change this out with a 48 volt. That would be a lot more efficient than 12 volt. We would cut our amperage usage way down on the batteries. On the battery side, I'm not saying we're cutting our amperage usage way down, our appliances and stuff, but if we switch that out to a 48 volt, we could actually put in more appliances if we wanted to. We could use more larger, we have that little freezer there and the refrigerator in there. That uses 1.5 amps. That's what it's rated at. By the time it goes through that inverter, it's 10.5 amps. So that's what I'm talking about. Right now, the only thing running in this house is the TV. I have one laptop plugged in, and that freezer, and it's not even running. But that's our problem, is that inverter. So what I would have to do is rearrange the batteries the way they're wired. I'd have to add 4 batteries, which is kind of part of the plan anyhow. And then I will have to tap 12 volts off of 2 batteries. I have to put them up to 8 in series, I believe. And I'll have to figure it out. Let's see, 6 of them would be 36 volts. I'm trying to do math in my head, and I just woke up. Anyhow, I could tap 12 volts off of them and still use the 12 volt system, no problem, and have a 48 volt system. 36 volt system would work also, but it's just not quite as efficient. So that we'll probably have to do that this summer. I could still use that one for stuff, but why? I don't need to. So we'll be looking at that. I have room there for 4 more batteries. That would give me 36 and 48. So I do need to make that a little bit larger. I would have to get 6 more batteries. But anyhow, it needs to be done because that would really make our system a lot more efficient on the batteries and the power, solar. And we'll look into that. I'll start pricing parts and we'll figure it out. But that's what I'm going to have to do. I did order a 180 amp fuse for here. I don't know how many amps this is doing totally. But the 125 amp, it took it about 45 seconds to blow. The thing is, this wire really doesn't even get warm at that amperage rate. So we're okay on wiring and stuff. It's just I need a fuse in that line. So I'm going to put in 180. If anything happened here, which it could, this is going to burn up. But on this side of the fuse, it would blow that fuse. But it's ordered, and we'll see where it goes from there. I do need to keep this away from that 12 volt or that negative post. It might rub through and short out. Okay, so we're okay for now. I just need to wait for that fuse to come, and we'll go from there. But like I say, we're safe other than this fuse. Sheldon, stop eating. Look at what he's done. He's sliming the door. I don't know why he likes to slime things. But these will handle up to 48 volts, so I won't have to do any real changes here at all. Oh, such fun. It's exciting, really. I like the way it works. I went out this morning right after I woke up and flew my airplane. I hasn't been out of the house in quite a while. The center of gravity was off, but other than that, it flew pretty good. It's still in one piece. That's all that counts. Neighbors down there are moving in. They had some lights on last night. And I've got a lot of work to do. The cows were out here this morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. They're early morning cows. Baby, come on. Come on, baby. I want to go outside. Come on, let's go back. Good boy. Come on. Back. Sheldon could come, but baby can't because he'll run. He doesn't run far, he just runs. Then he sits there and waits for me. Bought all that wood, gonna finish that shed in the back. I backed into our building last night. Bent it just a little bit. It was late. I wanted to get it in here. Bought all that wood to finish the shed. I finished the framing and the front wall anyhow. So, alright, well, back to work. Okay, if I can get past Sheldon and stop licking the door, Sheldon. I'm gonna go out here. Come on, baby. And look at the system. Right now we're pulling 16 amps on 110. And that's with almost nothing on. So I have determined that we need to do away with this 12 volt system totally, because at 3,000 watts, if that inverter, it's a 3,600 watt inverter. If at 3,000 watts, if it hits 3,000 watts, there's going to be 250 amps right here. So what I sat down last night and did the math. I should have done it a long time ago. So that's too much. That's ridiculous. We're wasting energy. So what I've determined and what I've decided, I got to talk it over with Sue and probably do it this payday. Buy a decent inverter, 48 volt. That will drop me down to 60 amps roughly at 3,000 watts. Maybe a little bit more than 60. We don't sell them ever draw 3,000 watts. So that would greatly improve our system. And what I can do is just use these first 4 sets for the 12 volt or the 48 volt, and use that last pair down there, maybe even this first pair down here. Use those for 12 volt. I can break away one of these controllers. Let's pick one out that has 4 chargers on, or panels on it, probably number 1 up here, and just run it into here and use this one here for 12 volt. That's all it would take to keep those 2 batteries charged. On 12 volt we're drawing 2.7 amps, and the only time it ever gets higher than that is if I'm keying up a radio. It doesn't, I mean, I think I can probably run everything in the house here on those 2 batteries as far as the 12 volt goes. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to talk to Sue about it. As soon as she gets up, I have to call her. She won't be up until 11 or 12, I'm sure. And we'll do that. Have to come back down here and do some major wiring. Have to wire all these for 48 volts. And that won't be hard at all. So that's where I'm at. Right now it's wired for 12. Have to wire the batteries in series to come back around and maybe come up from these two, plus and minus, into there. And that will work. Not a problem. But we should have really probably done it a long time ago. So, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get this video published. And I guess we're going to be doing another one just as soon as I get the parts. I can do away with that Faraday cage because I've fixed the problem. And this is going to come out pretty good. Back to work. I just want to make things more efficient. And that will greatly make things more efficient. Yeah, that's all I got to say. Alright, how do I get out of here? How do I shut this thing off?